And in nutrition terms, is there anything specific that, I know you said the whole entire thing, like the whole nutrition process has really been an eye opener, but is there anything specific that really surprised you?
Well, you have me looking at the macros, right? So we're focusing on the um, protein, carbs, fat, calories in general.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't really realize how those all play together. You know, it technology today with the apps and stuff we have, I can read that little, the nutrition thing on a box, but I can't necessarily remember the full day of what I've been doing. So what I learned was, me personally, I got to start and look for protein immediately, like from the crack of dawn. And that's been an issue that we've worked on, and we come up with some solutions. Obviously, it seems to be working.
Mhm.
Um, but focusing on the correct things, protein or carbs, to try to avoid some of the bad things, which is probably the fat, right? Or just sugar, sodas, whatever you want to call it. Um, Definitely was a learning process, and I'm like, wow, I really like. I actually was surprised that I wasn't weighing more than I weighed
Mhm.
because of some of the habits I was eating and when I was eating. Remember, we had to restructure my entire day.
Mhm.
Remember, I was eating dinner at 10 o'clock at night and getting full, and then going to bed on a full stomach, getting terrible sleep, and waking up the next day not able to eat for whatever reason until noon or 1 o'clock.
Mhm.
That does not work out very well for workouts. And I
Mhm.
found that out. And you walked me through that because there was how many workouts I'm like, I just hit the wall, 45 minutes into it. And I couldn't do the next two or three. And it wasn't that I couldn't do them. It's just like my body stopped. It's like, no more. I'm not doing this. And it's like, oh, kind of hard to have an argument with yourself at the gym.
Mhm.
Um, so awareness is, I think, also something that we're talking about here. I mean, it's we think we know everything that's perfect for us, and we think we're doing it until we actually think about it. And a lot of times, you need to have somebody that's got your best interest in mind, but someone that can see it from a third party view or vantage point to help you see what you're incapable of seeing. Because let's be honest, we all think we're awesome, right? We all think we can't, we don't need to improve. And the actuality is, I realize there's a lot of improvement that can be made in a positive way.
Yeah.
So
I
I love
think
that.
yeah, and that's something we talked about too. You were like, I didn't realize how much I didn't know.
Yeah. I thought I knew plenty, right? Because things I said with my past,
Right. Right. And what you
taught
learn as
coach
a
baseball, taught kids.
yeah.
Now what I'm not that I was teaching them wrong back then, but now I realize there's just so much better way of doing it. And that's passed me by because I'm not a baseball coach at this point, but that was my craft. And
Yeah.
that's what I knew. And that's where I kept on going down the road of I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I read books back when in the early 90s. It was awesome. You know, no, I don't even know how many years that'd be. It's too many.
Right. Right.
Change what hasn't changed in the last year.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. There's so much new information about like nutrition, how to optimize your energy that you just aren't taught, right? And it's like you don't necessarily at that age that we are being taught, it's not necessarily helpful to know because our metabolism is so different, our lifestyle so different, right? So it makes sense that you kind of have to go through this new evolution of learning what is going to work for your specific health. And then
Mm-hmm.
also you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. So how do we pair your routines and your health goals with your business goals? Because you're not going into an office 9 to 5, right? You're creating your own schedule, and that has to do also with how you manage your time, how the energy that you have for your time, and all of that comes down to you having more structure, you being a little bit more educated on how to eat, what to eat, the types of workouts you need to do. And that's everything that we worked on together. And like you said, we have a great relationship. The more that I got to know you, the more that I'm like, okay, maybe you should try this. We could try this. And we're not going to pretend, we're not going to sit here and pretend that everything was perfect, right? And you've alluded to that a few times, where there has been ups and downs where maybe you didn't do something that maybe you're supposed to do because there's a lot of family stress or stress with opening the business. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, let's get, I don't like saying get back on the track, because you are on the track. It's more so just like kind of slowing down or taking a break. And just moving through that. And I feel like that's really what's so powerful about coaching and why I love it, because life is not perfect. We're not reaching for perfection. We're reaching for consistency and consistent evolution as well.